Okay, welcome to another Liquid Bullet Productions. Joining me today, very modest man, so I won't go on about him too much. So I'm just going to introduce him as a martial artist, Mr. Bob Sykes.
How you doing, Lee?
Yeah, good, thanks, you?
I'm good. I'm just looking at myself. I look like Albert Steptoe.
Bob, I'm just going to read out some bullet points about you.
Okay, then.
Okay, so he's the editor of Martial Arts Illustrated magazine for 30 years. He's a member of Alfie Lewis's fight team. You invented or the founder of the Warriors fight team.
That's right.
You fought Cash the Flash Gill for a British kickboxing title in '86. You've done an exhibition fight on cable TV against Bill Superfoot Wallace.
The legend, yeah.
Legend,
Cash is a legend as well, you know.
Must be quite an honour even just to get in the ring with him.
Yeah, it hurt. Especially them body shots you were whacking me with. You know, I thought I was going to die.
Okay, you're also graded as a first dan black belt under Tiki Donovan.
Yeah, still a first dan as well.
Yeah. A co-promoter of the UK Martial Arts Show.
That's correct, with Paul Barnett. Paul Barnett does most of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, carry on. Is there more?
You invented the Clash of the Titans show.
Yeah, the Clash of the Titans was really good. Something which I went into later in my career, and it proved to be a good thing. But yeah, fire away. Here I am.
Okay, if we can just roll back to the beginning, Bob, just first get a little bit of your background, sort of where you've brought up and stuff.
Yeah, I'm in Huddersfield. I always have been in Huddersfield. Started karate when I was 15. Prior to that, I used to do a lot of running. I was a cross-country runner. Mm-hmm. I used to just run. I used to have a paper round in the morning, run to school 2 miles, do the cross-country at school, run home, do my evening paper round, run round, then go running at night. And then one of my mates said, come down to karate. So I went down. I always wanted to do it. You know, I just saw him once running through the village, and I followed him and watched him training in the field, and I thought, I want to be like that. It just seemed different. I wasn't a footballer or a cricketer like the rest of my family. I was scared of the corky ball, and I just couldn't play football. You know, you'd never seen anything as bad in your life as me playing football. I can't do it. And so I thought I was useless at everything. And then so I started martial arts and found out I was useless at everything. So I went to karate, did that. I used to do once a week at a normal little karate club. It's like there'd be hundreds and thousands of them running around the country, up and down, doing the Junsuki, Karate, Jodanuki, Gaikazuki, then loads of press-ups and loads of sit-ups and the odd barefoot run. So nobody used to stay for long. 2-hour sessions. And that was it. I was once a week. Then I went to see Enter the Dragon at the pictures. Got in. Yeah. You know, I wasn't old enough, but I sneaked in. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, I want to do this. That Bruce Lee guy was good. And it was magic. It was like, I don't know, what can I say? Everybody's seen it when they were younger. So I started going to Huddersfield Karate Club as well, down the road. That was the main one, of which ours was the little one. And there was a few guys there who could fight. And there was a guy called John Wright, who was a bit of a street fighter, ex-army. Used to go around and pick on all the bouncers and beat them up in Huddersfield. He was a nutter. He was fighting John Wright, a nutter. But he did competitions as well. And there was a few of them. One called Phil Robinson, looked a bit like Freddie Mercury. He was very good. Winston Greenwood, Lawrence Gibson, and a few others. Well, they were a good team. They were a team that went on the circuit. And I was just a guy who'd been doing karate a little bit once a week, a bit of running. And this one guy, Winston Greenwood, said, come here, we'll do some sparring. I said, okay. I'd not done sparring before, and he just kicked me all around the room. Not I could do, I felt hopeless. Mm. Then a few nights later, I sparred John Wright, and he swept me around the entire sports centre, give me a few digs every time I went down, which was a lot for me. But I thought, how the hell am I going to be able to beat these guys? So I started running, weight training, working on my punch bag at home, an old army kit bag I'd got. You can get older punch bags back in 1979, and you can get them at Argos now, but back then you couldn't get older ones, so I made my own. So it took me about 3 years to be able to beat everybody there sparring, and then they a lot of them they were at the older end of their careers, and they sort of fizzled out, and I took over. And then, like you, got into kickboxing. Can
I just step back a second? So, what style karate was that you started with?
Wado.
Yeah.
Wado. It was just like Wado. Everything is Wado. Everything is Wado. And just great times. I mean, I look back, and it was a different era. If you trained down at Dagenham with Picky, you'd have had a taste of that sort of a feel, that sort of magic that karate had back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, next question. I could witcher on all day.
So what sort of stage did you go through your gradings, and so what age did you come up against your black belt?
Well, I started in 77, and you go down the Q grades, don't you?
Yeah.
But if you went on a summer course, you went up a grade. So I went a few summer courses. So I got up there pretty quick. By 82, I was in Clacton, and I took my black belt under Tiki and the panel there. John Richards, Mick Blackwell, Will Werner, Alfie Borg at the time, who passed away, hasn't he now? Poor Alfie. Was such a good fighter.
Peter was there as well, wasn't he? Peter Dennis there?
Oh, Peter Dennis. I meet Peter sometimes. He comes to our events, and he's fantastic. He's fantastic. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yep. So what sort of made you sort of transition into kickboxing?
I was doing karate competitions, and I just felt like I was losing to people who I could fight, who I could beat in a fight. Because they were hitting me with going, eh! And I got confused. I'd punch him in the head afterwards and stuff and get told off. So I thought, I'm going to do kickboxing. I'm not going to get anywhere in karate. I went down to the England squad trials with Tiki. They're all a bit longer and faster. And I was prepared to take one, to give one, you see.
Yeah.
I can do it like that. How's that? Yeah. I prefer to get in, but in point karate, you get it first.
That's over,
That's
isn't
it. Yeah. So, and I noticed that if I was going to get anywhere in this, everybody's going to be watching me. So I have to be on the stage, and that's a kickboxing ring. So everybody's watching you. There's not 6 areas going on at once.
Yeah.
So I got into kickboxing. Well, the first one was a Thai boxer. Mm-hmm. And I took it on 4 days' notice. And I felt that leg kick for the first time. And it burnt through me. And I thought, it was like time froze as it hit. And I managed to win the bout. Then the next bout I fought, and I hit a guy with a back kick and knocked him out first round. So I challenged Gary Osborne. He was the Midlands area boxing champion, world number 2 and European kickboxing champion, for my 3rd fight in London at Streatham. But the promoter, Phil Mayo, came up to me and said, Bob, if you're fighting Gary Osborne, all right, you better get yourself a gum shield. Because our first 2 fights, I wear a gum shield.
Oh, blimey.
Mental, what's going on?
Yeah.
But there, that's it. Before long, after fighting Osborne, I could only fight top fighters. So, I fought Cash Girl, Gary Osborne, Derrick Hidden. He could hit. He used to knock him out with 1 punch every time. Stopped me at 4th round after knocking me down about 5 times. Kept getting up. But yeah, just good old kickboxing days. I mean, they were rough, and but they were fun. And they were funny.
Yeah.
Jeff Bullock was another one. But yeah, go on, next question.
So can I just ask you, how did you find a transition from sort of point scoring karate to kickboxing? Because obviously in karate there's no hooks, uppercuts, and obviously you're not getting the impact of the full contact, are you?
I had to learn to box, and just so happens after my 4th fight, the manager of the sports centre where I used to have my karate club just happened to be a former boxing coach, an army PTI called Tom Gunning. Now, Tom took me under his wing. He said he was a Scottish guy, 165 fights, only lost 11, ex-army PTI, tough man. He beat Maurice Hope and Tony Simpson in the amateur days. And he took me under his wing, and we trained every morning for 2 years before he left and went to manage down south. But he came to see me when he popped back to Huddersfield a few years back. And he's a tough guy. At 65 years old, he swam the British Channel.
Blimey.
But what happened was, this is how tough he was, unstoppable. I mean, sometimes it showed me something, like a jab. I can hit him, Bob, and I can make the pain shoot round the head. So he jabbed me in the head, and I felt this pain shoot round my head, just like he explained it. I thought, guy's a different level. But he swam the British Channel. He got a mile off France, and fatigue set in.
Blimey.
He couldn't make it, so he swam back.
Yeah, that's it.
You gotta learn to box. And I got a lot of boxing skills. No, I'm not that good. I'm not going. I can coach now. I can't fight, but I used to travel to find sparring partners. Ronnie Green was always a good sparring partner. Ronnie Green, he's lethal, isn't he? He's absolutely lethal.
Yeah.
He gets me though. He gets me, does Ronnie.
So Bob, can I just ask you? Obviously, as I was growing up as a kid, I see a lot of you in magazines and the VMA videos and stuff. You seem to have a trademark as your sort of jump spinning back kick.
Yeah, I used to love
that. Is that your favourite move, or it looked like it also always went in? You always landed it.
I didn't always land it, but yeah, it did look for. Cause for a little guy, I had to use body momentum to get power. So spinning back fist, spinning back kick, spinning kick, even spinning sweep, I used to like. But the funny thing is, I went down to train with Tiki and Valera once. And I always wanted to spar. I always sparred them when I went down, Dominic Valera or Tiki. Make sure I sparred Tiki. And I managed to get a back kick through on Tiki. And he let me off, you know. And as I was going afterwards, he said, I'll watch out for that back kick next time. Now, when Tiki Donovan says something like that to you, it pumped me up so much. It gave me so much confidence, because I wasn't a confident guy. Still not too confident. And Tiki to say that, wow, I thought that's my technique now. So it's Tiki to blame. He's the one who encouraged me to use the back kick more.
Yeah.
He's a great coach. He knows just what to say, just what seed to plant.
Yeah.
And where to plant it.
What sort of age did you start getting into the sort of the martial arts editing, the martial art illustrated magazine editing?
It was after fighting Cashgill.
What sort of inspired that? Was that or you just thought of it yourself?
Well, me and Cash fought for the British title in 1986 in Nottingham. It was packed. I was a bit of a controversial because I challenged some of the Wing Chun masters back then. So I was all over the magazines. I was the guy, Cash is fighting this guy who's challenged the Wing Chun masters. And everybody's there.
Right.
So I did this fight with Cash.
Yeah.
And it was a good fight. But I lost, and I thought, that's kickboxing, really. I'm not going to be Benny the Jet. So I went and sat on top of a hill the day after. And I just put it out. I'm going to do a magazine now. And 18 months later, we had a magazine on the shelf.
Wow.
Magic. Pure absolute, just a manifestation. That's all it was, I thought.
Yeah, and that went on for 30 years.
Bloody well did, yeah. 30 years too much. I'd had enough. But the last 5 years, I'd just had enough. It was like, what you imagine you're still doing what you're doing now. You've been doing this a short while, I take it. How long have you been doing this liquid bullet?
About 2.5 years now. We've been up.
Yeah, we'll put another 28 years on that and see how you feel. You know, you'll feel like I'd rather go into a field and lick piss off nettles than do a magazine.
It must be quite fascinating though, like at first, like going around seeing all the different people and meeting them.
It was good, yeah, fantastic. Met some really good martial artists, but every Sunday night you sat there doing some magazine work for Monday morning. I was running a martial arts academy. I was still training and competing. I burnt out by about 95, 96, I totally burnt out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just fell down lots of dark holes.
Yeah.
As you do in life. Yeah.
So, Bob, I'm just going to go on to a couple of things here. So you're a member of Alfie Lewis's fight team as well?
Yeah, well, I was in Huddersfield. And once I got to be able to beat most of the people at the sports centre, and then they disappeared once you can beat them. I'm looking quite creepy now, aren't I, on this one? I couldn't get any sparring partners. I used to spar professional boxers and people like that. But I couldn't get sparring with them. So I went to Liverpool and rocked up at Alfie's club, because Alfie's the best. And I just went, I thought, everybody there, they're all good. Carlton Abbey, Andrew Boyce, Alfie Lewis, Peter O'Para, they were fantastic fighters. And everybody you sparred was good. So everybody I sparred could beat me. And I always turn up early to spar Alfie before class. You know, I mean, I must have been mental. I felt indestructible. I did feel indestructible when I was younger. My son's like that now. He fights and he competes and he grapples with everybody. And I had this conversation with him today. He'll be back soon. He'll be coming back. I've got his headphones on. I might get punched again. I just felt indestructible. I wanted to fight everybody. And I couldn't get anybody to fight me. Now I'm old. I've had a hip replacement. I'm due a knee replacement and another hip replacement. I'm not really physically fit anymore. I don't train hard.
You sound like the perfect opponent for Jake Paul now then, Bob.
Well, everybody wants to fight me now. Back then, nobody wanted to fight me. Now everybody wants to fight me. You know, it's bloody ridiculous. But I'm going to say something then. Something went. It was really important. You put it in. You're not very good at interviewing.
So we were talking about Alfie Lewis, weren't we? Fighting at his
Alfie's amazing. He's still good. We still get on. But yeah, we get on. We go back a long way. I know I watched his interview on this. I watched his. I watched Ticky's.
Yeah.
And I'll watch Aiden's. I know Aiden's Trimble, another great guy. I'll watch them. You know, but you have a lot of people who are really tough guys, don't you, on here? You know, I don't want to be...
Yeah, we try and do a bit of a mix, a bit of all sort of martial arts and backgrounds.
Yeah, all nutters on. I thought, I don't want to get involved with them. I don't want them watching and think, I want to fight that Bob Sykes. I'm thinking, God, bloody hell, I can't fight now. I reckon I could still, you know, if I got a lucky shot in, you know, maybe. You never know. I'd have to hit him when you weren't ready, though.
So, Bob, can I just sort of go back into, obviously, you done an exhibition fight with Bill Superfoot Wallace.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like? What was that like in the ring with him?
Well, to get picked first. Yeah. I got picked. Why pick me? Yeah. You know? So, it was in London, Phil Mayo show. And I'm picked to this sparring with Bill Wallace. So I'm going, oh yeah. So a few people went down, and a few were quite jealous about it. Well, you know, people get jealous when you do something.
Yeah.
You're a bit weird, aren't they? I don't get as jealous as I do. I get jealous sometimes. So I know how they feel. And I'd got in ring with Bill, and Bill was like a machine. He's like in good shape. He was still very just like he used to look when he was young. And he's whacking these.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I was a bit of a flicky kicker, fancy kicker, and I just went out doing all my kicks. Obviously, it's Bill's got to look good. It's not about me. And he putting these body hooks in just to sort of slow me down a bit. And I thought, bloody hell, it's boxing. This guy's a boxer, and he's a boxer. You know, he's known as his Superfoot. That's the cleverest move he's ever done. He calls himself Superfoot, so you're thinking about his foot, and it's his hands he beats you up with. It's a con. It's a con all along. So, and then I was doing the mag, and Chris Bowie invited me over to Manchester to cover his seminar there that Bill was on. And Bill remembered me, which I was quite surprised. And we did some sparring, and we did about 15 minutes. And he bust my ribs with a body shot straight away. But we carried on for 15 minutes. I could hardly walk the day after, but I had big bruises all over my head. But we had a good spar. We were just sparring, but everybody else thought we were real fighting. But to us, we were just sparring, you know. We just
like a bit of harder sparring.
Yeah, it's just different to like hide and seek, like when they go and run away. We were just standing his ground and moving his head, and I was letting these shots bounce off my head. And I loved it. I mean, Bill Wallace, my hero. And that's where I met Lance Lewis at that seminar. Lance used to train at the Kronk gym in Detroit. And he started coming over training with me and teaching me proper professional boxing, the Kronk style. Yeah. And I picked loads of tips up, but too late in my career for it to be, beneficial to me kickboxing, but great for me coaching today.
Yeah.
He just told me to shut up if I go on too much.
So, Bob, you mentioned you was the inventor of the Clash of the Titans.
Inventor.
Can you keep on through
that? I have brought you many things in my time, but the greatest being the Clash of the Titans. And that was an event which was inspired to me by what Tim Ward did with the Geeko Spectacular in 1983 in Birmingham when he brought the Americans over to fight the Taekwondo. So I thought we'll just put that on. We invited the TAGB. We had thousands of people at our events, and it just went mental. You know, fantastic fights. That's where Alfie fought Kevin Brewerton.
Ah, yes. Sorry, yeah, I remember.
Well, that was my event. I used to fight on. So I thought I can do this. It's like continuous on that. I can fight these Taekwondo guys because they're not like fighting Thai boxers, are they? So I'll fight the Taekwondo guys. And when they throw a high kick, I sweep the leg. But they were good. They were fit guys. Very good. Just that I had a very arrogant attitude. I thought I could beat everybody. I never used to think, but they were very good. And they were destined to do something really big, but you just, I don't know if it's everything I do seems to go to rat shit after a while. I don't know if it's me being the common denominator in it all, but I get stuff going. Clash the Titans, the Kumite, MEI, UK Martial Arts Show, all the fames, everything works, and then all of a sudden I'll mess it up somehow. Just by speaking my mind. Well, it's people. Can't stand people. I don't like them. They start getting cocky after a while. You help them out. You give them a job. You do everything for them. It gets to the red. And then they start getting cocky. So I've just got to say something.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I have to pop the bubble after a while. Can't help it.
So Bob, can I ask you a little bit now? So you're the co-promoter of the UK Martial Arts Show?
Not anymore. He's just fired me.
So First of all, can we just, like, in case there's any viewers that haven't heard of it, I'm sure most people have, or most people have been to it. Can you just give us a quick brief over it?
It's something which Paul Barnett's the guy who it's Paul's show. He keeps me on board 'cause he's a nice guy. I had the magazine when we started, and we started it on the back of that in 2015. It's at the Doncaster Dome, and we've got this year. We've got Bill Wallace. We know Bill is, don't we?
Yeah, Bill Superfoot Wallace.
Bill Superfoot Wallace. Cynthia Rothrock. I've never seen any of her films, though. I don't watch martial arts.
I grew up watching them.
Did you? So you know about? Oh, we would like Cynthia's films. We do.
Yeah.
Mark Statz, isn't it? He's a Wing Chun guy. He's quite good, coming from Belgium. As this little, I don't know what he is. He's a Bruce Lee lookalike guy. I'm going to make friends with. He'll be my best mate at the show. Bruce Lee lookalike. I'll pretend he's a real Bruce Lee. And we've got lots of other instructors, teaching Alfie Lewis. Alfie Lewis. You know, I don't know if Brian Jacks has come out. Brian's been to some. Brian Jacks, one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Yeah, he's been on. He's done an interview with us.
I say he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic. He gets me. He does Brian. I could tell you some stories. Me and Brian, we've had a right laugh. And it was at one event. This is the best one because we all know Brian from the Superstars, don't we?
Superstars, yeah, and obviously judo he's well known for, isn't he?
Yeah, but I remember the Superstars when I was 15. He was on Superstars. And Vic Charles, before Vic, I got a story on that one as well. And I'm at school, and there's this guy taking all this top, Daley Thompson, Jeff Capes, Kevin Keegan, taking them all on and beating them. Judo guy. Eating oranges. And years later, I met him. But Bill Wallace, I used to read Bill Wallace books when I was younger. And years later, I met him. Benny the Jet. I used to watch all Benny's stuff, Kings of the Square Ring and stuff.
Yeah.
And years later, I met him. But what was funny about this met him bit is I met all three at once. They were all sat on stage looking at me. And I was supposed to ask them a question. I thought somebody had spiked me because I've got my three heroes sat there at a UK martial arts show looking at me. The guys I used to read about and watch. And 40 years later, they're there in front of me. Benny's closest. Then it's Bill. And at the back's Brian. And I'm supposed to think of a guy who went, man. Thought mental, just mental, and that's the UK martial arts show. Now I look at the UK martial arts show as the magazine that's actually it's ascended into 3D, and it's become a living, breathing, talking, walking, kicking, punching, throwing show, which is a UK martial arts show. It's a fantastic weekend. 3 weeks away. 3 weeks' time, I'll be pulling up to the hotel the night before to set up.
So what is the date of the next show, Bob?
I thought you wouldn't ask me any hard questions.
6th of May?
It's the 6th and 7th. Now, what they did, Buckingham Palace, all right, they did a dirty on us. They put the coronation on the same day.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah. So I rung them up and I said, you put me on to the boss. All right. Prince Charles, who did send me some eggs once. Prince Charles did send me half a dozen eggs. True story. And he said, we can't shift it, Bob. He said, it talks a bit posher. I'm not sure it's him. I think they switched them. You know what I mean? For the start, he's 2 inches shorter, but people do shrink as they get older. And what's happened to his ears? He used to have big ears. He ain't got big ears now. So is it really him?
So can I
yeah,
just get a little bit more sort of detail, sort of exactly what goes on about the UK martial arts show? So you obviously got people training, teaching there
all day long from 9 till
demonstrations.
5. You've got demonstrations on the stage. It's just on and interviews of people, top people like Bill and Cynthia and Mark Stats and Alfie and people like that. You've got seminars, maybe 5 or 6 going on at a time. The main areas which the superstars are on, like Alfie and Bill and Cynthia, and around the edges, all the stalls. So it's a bit like it's a toned down Senai. Remember Senai?
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's like a cheap version. We were like we never went out to compete with Senai because obviously that was a big event. That was NEC XL Centre. Paul Alderson, wasn't it? Paul Alderson
and Joe Long. Yeah, Joe's been on. We've had
great
Joe
guys.
on
We're not. We just do a northern thing. Our northern equivalent, and in north, you know how poor we are and backward, don't you?
Yeah.
So we're not going to be able to compete with their stuff. I mean, but that was, I mean, the XL Centre and NEC, that costs a fortune, doesn't it?
Yeah,
whereas the Dome will cost us about 7k for the weekend, whereas you're talking with the NEC 70k. It's just ridiculous money.
Big overhead to cover, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I don't know how they do it. I couldn't do it. I get an headache enough with this. But it's going to be good. I mean, it's a chance for you, if you're not into the coronation. Not that we're going to have a coronation there anyway, because they're going to crown me King of Martial Arts, apparently. So have his own little coronation.
So really, there's something for everyone. It doesn't matter what style you are, what you're into.
You just love it.
All different styles and different.
You have your pictures done with Bill, and Cynthia.
Yep.
You pretend you're a movie star for a minute, can't you? You sort of put it on your Facebook.
Yeah, that's it.
And get a few likes. Don't put laughy faces on though, because people get paranoid about laughy faces. I did a few last night. I shouldn't have done them. I've upset a few. Help. But yeah, it's great. It's just a great time. It's everybody. It's like everybody gets a chance to meet people normally they only see on Facebook.
Yeah.
I do think the AI is doing us in now. We're looking at these screens too much. I think it's got something to do with the CERN experiment in Switzerland.
So Bob, just step in there a second. So anyone can come and train on any different circuit with different.
Oh yeah, you train with everybody. I've got a student who goes, Finn, and he'll be there up front training in the first session and the last. Train all day, that kid. We've got some really good instructors. Yeah. It's all, if you just look on the website, where's the website? www.theukmas.co.uk.
So that's quite a good way, really. If someone sort of was interested in a different martial art that they do and they wanted to give it a try, it's a good way of trying it out, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's great. Imagine if when we were younger we had that. I mean, you might have had Senai. I don't know how old you are, but when I was, I had didn't have anything. We used to look in Combat magazine at the calendar of events, and Dominic Valera, Tiki Donovan course, I'll go to that. E.L. Cho from America, I'll go to that. Daniel Santo, Jeet Kune Do, I'll go to that. And you look at them and you go to them. Just out of Combat magazine's calendar of events page back in the 70s. Amazing. But UK Martial Arts Show, and then we have his Hall of Fame on the Sunday night when people get their awards and all feel good. And that's usually packed. I tell jokes on that one sometimes.
Run us a little bit through the
what the jokes are.
No, not the jokes, Bob. The Hall of Fame bit.
Hall of Fame. We did the Hall of Fame. We started the Hall of Fame because, we were at Martial Arts Magazine at the time. And now we call it the UK Martial Arts Hall of Fame, not the MAI.
Yeah.
And people come and get their awards for the services to martial arts. You've got to have achieved something to get an award. If it's just like teaching, like me, I do my club every night. I teach a couple of classes every night. That's what I do. I've just resigned myself to that now. It's never going to change, is it? And I don't know. I think they come to look after me now. Kids feel sorry for me. They come to help Bob. So it might be the fact that you battled cancer or something. We have a lot of them.
Yeah.
People who've faced certain adversities, and some of the stories, I mean, the people come out with on that stage. I hope they're not making them up, because I'm in tears sometimes stood next to them. I can get quite emotional sometimes. I'm not one of the lefties, so to speak, but you know what I mean. They get emotional when you listen to people's telling their story, what they've been through.
Yes.
And it means so much to them to get on the stage and say this, that you've made that happen. And we had a guy called Mal Jones once had cancer. So we did this walk for cancer, and he did it on his own. And when he set off on this 100-mile walk in Wales that he did, he's leaving not knowing if he was going to come back. You know what I mean? Because he was that bad. And you hear these stories and genuine stories about what people have been through. So, and then it's just a guy who does the club. There's some people who win competitions. Some people who, let's say, legends in the martial arts. And so we have all these different awards, and then they go home and get in the newspaper, don't they? So people join the club. So it works all ways.
Yeah.
It's just a great, maybe once a year thing I still do. And it's the one thing that, even though, I do miss the magazine a bit. I miss the magazine. I do other things. I do my Reiki. I do my Qigong. I don't train physically like I used to. I can't even work a bloody iPad. And I don't do what I used to do in martial arts. But it's still nice to connect with everybody who used to get the magazine and stuff, and they want to know if I'm still alive, at the show. It's the best. It's just a great thing. I mean, if you're not interested in doing the Coronation, which some people aren't, I don't watch Coronation Street. Come to the show. It's the 6th and 7th. You've got the website, and come to the show. A lot of work goes into it, and I look forward.
And that's suitable for families as well, Bob, children and adults.
It's family affair. You get families. You sum it for everybody. You know what I mean? And the Dome's a great venue.
You can book for either one day or both days if you can't do both days.
Yeah, go for one day. If you want to see the Coronation on Saturday, come to the show on Sunday. And if you know anybody who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, then find me or Paul Barnett on Facebook, or just drop Leah a text or message, and he'll get it to me, and we'll get them in there.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. We did. I don't train like I used to physically. I don't know how you are. I don't know how your joints are holding out.
I'm on the downhill.
You get
on the slope now, mate.
Yeah. Well, I'm nearly at the bottom. Okay, and you go, and the closer to the bottom they get, you accelerate. You're picking speed up. It's like a toboggan track.
You're giving me something really to look forward to here, Bob.
Well, I stopped physically training like the bot. I don't go down to do a round on the bag. I just go past and eat it, and I might demonstrate some techniques. I'm a coach. Yeah. Teach people how to use that back foot, move their head. Move your head. Keep your head, get your hands up, move your head. I met a guy who'd been a professional snooker player. And I said to him, do you still play snooker? This guy was rated one of the top 200 in the world. Beat Steve Davis.
Right.
And I said, do you still play? And he went, no. And I said, why? He said, because I couldn't stand missing shots that I could have put away just like that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. You know, I was quite fast. I wasn't bad. I thought I was indestructible, and then I realised I wasn't. Anyway, have you got any really good final questions or not?
Yeah, Bob, if you don't mind, I'm just going to throw a few random ones for you.
Go on then. It's like Celebrity Squares, isn't it?
Yeah. Your biggest inspiration in martial arts?
Too many. There's Bill Wallace, Alfie Lewis, Dickie Donovan. I said to name three. Bill Wallace, Alfie Lewis. Yeah, there. Bill Wallace, Alfie Lewis, and Dickie Donovan.
Yeah. Favourite technique, Bob?
Anything that works. Has somebody used that before? Have they used that before?
Good. That's good.
Or everything that doesn't work. How's that?
Last one for me. What does the future hold for you within martial arts now?
I don't know. I have to be serious. I go a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole. I like to ask questions about where do we come from? Why are we here? You know, I can't stand the trivia. And that's why I had to distance myself from martial arts. Consciousness didn't come from a big bang, did it? And if this is 8 billion years of evolution, when I look outside, everybody driving around on the mobile phones, I thought we haven't come a long way in all that time. Okay. But so for me, I do my meditations, I do my Qigong, and I do my Reiki, which is a bit out there for most people. But it's opened up other questions within me. So I don't know how to get philosophical or disappear up my own arse somewhere. I don't know.
Right, I'm going to be cheeky. I've got 2 more questions for you.
Go on then.
Right, where should everyone be on the 6th and 7th of May, Bob?
Obviously, come to the UK martial arts show. I'll be there. If you've got anything to say to me, say it to my face. You can slag me off. You come off to the show, say, Bob, I saw you on the Lee Mayo. I'll buy you a coffee. How's that sound? All right, have a chat. I'll give you a copy of my book. They haven't sold. I might just give them away at the show. I think the only reason I wrote this book was to reaffirm me standing in this flea circus they call the martial arts. But go on, you got one more question?
Yeah. So, Bob, where can people find you if they wanted to follow you or speak to you, catch up with you, or if they want to come and train with you? Where can they follow me?
It's like the Pied Piper. I'll lead you astray. Listen, I want to disappear. Okay, I seriously do. I spent, how's this for you? You like this one? Where is it? Here it is. The phone. All right, it's my phone. It's a Nokia. I don't do the old other stuff. I'm trying to get off it. I got a night, I might have a few cans of beer and play chess online and then end up upsetting people on Facebook. But I play chess. I meditate. I do Reiki. I do Qigong. I'm 61 next. Mm-hmm. Just let me die in peace. Seriously. Please. I'm infinite consciousness having a human experience. How's that? And I've come here to experience mortality because I live in eternity. So I've come here to experience mortality, so let me get on with it.
All right, Bob, we start to wind it up there. Thanks for coming on.
Listen, you're an absolute legend. Thank you. It's been an honour. I was a bit nervous, actually. So I had a few Red Bulls. before I came on. I didn't. And I think my son's back from training.
Okay, Bob. All right, we'll wind it up.
Do you need
Thank
to give
ever
you
so
a
much for your
wave?
time. Yeah, go on.
Oliver, just come and give him a wave on YouTube. He says that he does it for real. I like to borrow these. That's why I rung you.
Right, mate, how are we doing?
They do, mate. You all right?
I can't hear you, but I'd sound okay.
I can't hear you. All right, listen, Lee,
All right, Bob.
thank you so much for having me
Thanks
on
for
the
coming
show.
on. It's appreciated.
And I'll look forward to watching it back one day.
All right, Bob. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate. Hey, listen,
I'll
Lee.
speak to you
Love
soon.
you loads. I'll see
Take
you
care,
at the
mate.
show and I'll sort out
Definitely.
this interview. Take care, mate.
100%.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ta-ra, mate.
Oosh.